시작! 아, 바로 시작이네. 자, 가방을 한번 보러 갑시다.
After a year on the road, I thought I'd get tired of traveling. The endless clatter of railways, highways, and everything in between. But as my train pulled into the station at Bellariva, I felt every bit as excited as the first day of my journey. A whole year. It felt like a lifetime. The places I'd seen, the people I'd met, of course, the forgotten treasures I'd given a new lease of life along the way. I'm a restorer by trade. Bringing our most beloved possessions back to life is what I love to do. I'd been traveling for months, working my way from one town to the next. Fixing Bellariva was my chance to take a break.
풀어! 오.
I saw a guitarist wearing these at a show once. Rock and roll repair woman at your service.
여권 좀 봅시다.
Passport. Not many blank pages left now. Who doesn't love a scrunchie? Practical and stylish.
가방 검색하는 거야?
Looking forward to taking more close-ups of my fingers with this.
가방 좀 봅시다. 완료! 소지품 검사.
Finally, I'd made it to Bellariva. I'd come
컵라면.
for the food festival, taking place in a few days' time. After living off TV dinners and instant ramen for the last few months, I was craving a decent meal. Of course, I'd need to earn enough money to pay for it, so I figured I'd head out the next day and find some work. My parents never wanted me to go. They wanted me to stay in their shop and have a simple,
골동품
stationary
가게에
life.
이제
I
자기가
knew there was a
저걸 한
world out
거구나.
there, beyond the four walls of our antique store that I had to be a part of. I daydreamed constantly about the weird and wonderful places each of our antiques came from. I loved figuring my story,
공대생이네.
and Bellariva began.
공대생이야, 공대생. 오. 자장가.
It was my first morning in Bellariva, and I couldn't wait to leave my hotel and explore. It was a quiet town. Its streets and in the main square, meanwhile,
페스티벌 준비가 되어 있었대요.
As I handed out my flyers,
어우,
I
부담스러워.
wondered what the people of Bellariva would need me to fix. So far, I was starting to worry I'd made a mistake when I felt someone tapping me on the back.
Hi, I'm Izzy. Do you know how to fix?
안녕하세요. 전 쉬움이에요.
It was a little girl, maybe 7 years old, who must have gotten hold of one of my flyers. She rummaged around in her backpack until she hauled out a battered red cassette deck.
My tape is broken and I can't make it work anymore. I tried to fix it myself, but there's this metal thing in the way. Can you try?
맡겨줘. 아주 망쳐주겠어. 어? 오.
Aha! Those batteries look like they need replacing. Luckily, I have some spares.
아이. 아이.
Why did you do that?
Will you dream a dream for me?
건전지만 갈면 되는.
When it finished, Izzy picked up the tape deck and tucked it carefully into her backpack.
Thanks, Maria. You're the best person at fixing things ever.
야,
No problem.
돈 내.
Not singing. They're very good.
건전지 씨. 건전지는 저거 공짜인 줄 알아?
It's my mum. She's
아이고
not here anymore.
아이고.
Izzy trailed off.
그래도
It was
저기
the kind of silence
건전지는
accepted
내야
would
돼.
never be enough to fill.
건전지는 내야지.
When Izzy's friends called for her, she dug deep into her pockets, looking for something to pay me with. Eventually, she produced a grand total of a stick of gum, 3 mismatched buttons, and a yo-yo.
쓰레기 주네.
I usually preferred a check, but Izzy looked so serious, I wrote out a full receipt. She seemed like a happy kid, but beneath it all, part of her life had been shattered. A part I wouldn't be able to fix.
에이씨, 망했네 그냥. 아이, 장사 망했네. 산산조각.
My first repair complete, I spent the rest of the day doing small jobs in and around the square. I was exhausted when I got back to my hotel and found a message asking me to make one more visit.
출장이다 출장.
The address led me to a quaint little house, a stone's throw from the beach. Bathed in the evening light, it looked beautiful, in spite of its... The front door was opened by a harried-looking man, still dressed from a long day at the office.
Are you Maria? My name's Joseph. I'm Isabel's father.
오, 돈 줘요.
I'm so sorry she bothered you this morning. Please, come in. I'd like to settle up properly.
On the mantelpiece, I saw the remains of a broken statue. Without thinking, I picked up a fragment.
Ah, my father's statue. What's left of it, at least. Yet another way I'd have disappointed him.
이제는 이거 아주 그냥 딸이 그렇게 한 이유가 있네. 이 아저씨도 똑같네. 그냥 그 아버지의 그 딸이네 그냥.
It survived 100 years in this family. But 5 minutes with Isabel and... Do you think you can salvage it? Will you be able to see the glue afterwards? I don't want people seeing the cracks.
아니 이 쉬운 걸 못해요?
Is this glue really strong enough to hold everything together?
아이 의심 많으면은 하지 말던가. 아이 기분 상해서 못 해먹겠네 진짜. 뭘 그 의심을 하고 그래? 이 아저씨야?
Sometimes I think my daughter should come with a warning label.
일단 맡겼으면은 지켜봐. 업자 괜히 업자겠어? 조각상 아주 완벽하게 칠했네요.
Thank you, Maria. It looks as perfect as it ever did. My father wanted me to make something of myself. He didn't have time for anything less.
돈 줘요.
As Joseph put the statue back on the shelf, it nudged against the family portrait stood proudly next to it. So he was Bellariva's mayor. And that was Izzy's mom. They must both miss her so much.
알겠으니까 일단 돈을 좀 줘봐요. 에?
Sorry, I'm a little tired. I've been
와,
working late getting things sorted for the festival.
다
There's
고치니까
only a few days to go.
피곤하다고
Looks
그냥.
like I'll be working late. Again?
아주 그냥 고치기 전이랑 화장실 들어갈 때랑 나올 때랑 아주 그냥 다르네.
When I told my parents I wanted to leave, they always
표정
found
봐,
an
이거.
excuse to be busy.
돈 안
To
주니까
avoid
이거 아주
talking
그냥.
about it. I guess keeping themselves occupied was their way of pretending it wasn't happening. Joseph's work must have been taking up so much of his time. But maybe that was what he wanted.
돈을 줘야 표정이 풀리지 이거. 나는 수리공이지 그 가족 관계가 부서진 걸 고쳐주진 않어. 나는 가족 관계를 붙여주진 않어.
My second day in Bellariva dawned bright and clear. Another beautiful sunny morning. Walking into town, I passed cafes overflowing with customers cradling their morning coffees.
드디어
I stopped, breathing
커피와
in the smell of roasted
아니네,
coffee
먹은-
beans and freshly baked pastries.
먹은 것도 아니네. 향만 맡은 거였네.
I was about to go inside when the owner of Carmen's, the cafe next door, stopped me.
Hello, Maria. Were you here yesterday handing out flyers?
밥
I have a job for you.
아니 잠깐만 밥은 주고 밥 좀 먹자.
Her place was petite, tucked between its competitors as if hoping they wouldn't notice. Judging by the empty tables inside, though, her potential customers hadn't noticed it either.
It's a bit slow today, but we're just getting started. I'm sure it'll pick up soon.
As Carmen chatted, she walked over to the counter and returned with an old rotary phone.
At least I've got plenty of time to practice my recipe for the festival. It's a new special I've been working on. I was hoping to call my sister for some seasoning tips, but it won't connect. Can you see if you can figure out what's wrong?
봅시다. 아우 커피. 아 이게 저거구나. 이게 설정이구나 커피가. 잠깐 쉬어가는 설정 같은 거구만. 어디 보자. 잠깐
You can fix
내려놓고.
it, can't you? I can't afford to replace it.
일단 봐야 되기 때문에 저희도
Obviously, we'd normally be much busier
확인을
than this.
해야 돼요. 네, 업자 믿으세요. 너무 옆에서 저기 하던 일 하세요. 예, 저 고치고 있을게요. 하던 일 하고 계시면 돼요. 믿으세요, 믿으세요. 아이고 그냥 난리가 났네. 이게 작동이 됐어요? 와 나는 진짜 모르겠네. 아니 와이어가 하나로 안 되잖아. 이 와이어 어떻게 뽑아?
These connections aren't quite right. I should check the wiring. Looks like this new circuit board is all hooked up.
됐지? 그리고 놓고 다시 역순으로 조립을 하면은 된다.
There's still a part I need to attach. Where does it go?
아! 된 거 아니야? 왜 이렇게 돼 있어? 야! 아니, 왜 이렇게 돼 있어? 왜 떨어져요? 이거 뭐야 이거? 이게 뭐가 완성이야? 아니 역순으로 했잖아요. 웃긴 게 이거 먼저 빼고 해체했잖아. 그래서 마지막에 이걸 끼면 되는 건데 왜 이게 이렇게 돼 있냐? 야 이게 완성이래. 야 이게 숨겨진 레시피인가 뭔가 그거냐? 오메 씨발 이게 뭐요? 아 내가 로터리식 전화기라는 걸 몰랐나? 와 세상에. 아니 그리고 이게 왜 떨어져? 난 분명히 나사를 끼웠는데. 야 이거 불량인가 보다. 나 분명히 나사 끼웠잖여. 왜 이래 이거? 이거 뭐야 이거? 이거 나사 그럼 왜 있는 거야 이거 나사? 아니 이거 나사 왜 있는 거야? 나사 다 삐져나왔구만 이거. 다 삐져나왔구만. 이게 뭐야 이게? 이게 감성인가 뭔가 그거냐? 뭐 감성 카페였니? 이게 막 감성 카페 약간 이런 거였나? 아
When I
MG하구만.
handed the phone back to Carmen, she seemed almost reluctant to take it from me.
So it's all working now, is it? I don't have to leave it to dry or let it cool down?
Nope, it's ready to go. It'll be ringing off the hook in no time.
That's if I can pay my phone bill anyway. And the rent and the suppliers. Anyway, take a seat and I'll be right with you. Your coffee's on the house.
아우 드디어 커피 마시는구만.
I sat at one of the empty tables, while at the counter, Carmen had started dialing the phone.
Hello. How's my favorite sister doing today?
As she talked, Carmen became more and more tense. This didn't seem like
I know I still owe you from last time, but I can't afford to take part in the festival if I don't pay.
여기도
I
또
could almost
재정난이야?
feel the eye roll at the other end.
야
of the
여기
line.
장사 망했다. 야 여기 상권이 그지들밖에 없다. 야 어? 아니 이 새끼들 고쳐주고 커피로 때우려고 그러고 그냥 다 그지 동네였네. 그지 동네들 그냥.
You don't need to be here though. Can't you just put the check in the post?
When the call ended, Carmen brought me my coffee, her hands trembling.
Sorry about that. My sisters decided to fly in for a visit.
어? 전화기 상태 봤을 때부터 알았어야 됐는데. 아 전화기 상태 봤을 때부터 눈치챘어야 됐다.
Actually, I might have another job for you. Can you come by tomorrow?
정말 미쳐버리겠네.
이제 주인공 루트 잘못하면 존이 고장났는지 움직이질 않아요 하면서 시체 조각 끼워 맞추는 걸로 가는 거지.
그럴 것 같아요. 아까 그 피규어가 복선인 거지. 내가 그렇게 갈갈이 찢겨져 나갈 수도 있는 거야. 너 또 열정 페이기만 해봐.
The next day, I'd promised Carmen I'd return to help her get the cafe ready for her sister's arrival.
오케이.
I was about to set out when I received an unexpected call from my hotel's reception desk. Apparently, another curious, I took the creaking elevator up to the top floor and made my way to the room number they'd given. I knocked.
똑똑똑.
Are you here about the camera? It's about time.
The woman in front of me was immaculate. Not a hair out of place or a crease to be seen.
My sister tells me you know how to fix things.
그 전화했던 저기 언니구나.
So this was Carmen's sister? The two of them couldn't have been more different. Inside her room, I saw a beautiful reflex camera, any professional photographer's dream.
The viewfinder is completely dark. I can't see anything through it at all. I assume you can figure out what's wrong.
아유, 까봅시다. 아유, 좋은 거 쓰시네. 아유, 그냥 난리가
I
났구만.
don't
난리가
suppose
났어.
you've fixed anything this valuable before.
이것만 갈아 끼우면 될 것 같은데?
If I used the screwdriver, I could adjust the angle of the mirror. Perfect. Now the viewfinder should be working.
됐죠? 아니, 사진 찍는 기술자가 이런 것도 못 고쳐요? 당신은 사진 찍을 자격이 없습니다.
I felt a pang of envy as I handed the camera to Helena. I put my disposable to shame.
I picked it up on my first trip to
오메.
Paris. It's a 1958 limited edition.
와,
The first of its
3개월분?
kind. It cost me
I had no idea what 3 months' salary meant to Helena, but I was pretty sure it was more than I could afford. It was strange, really, that we were even staying in the same hotel. I'd picked this place because it was cheap and cheerful, but surely she could afford somewhere better. She took some test shots, fiddling with the camera settings until she was absolutely satisfied.
This work is immaculate. At least there's one person in this town who knows what they're doing. Sending you to me might be the first thing Carmen's actually gotten right.
I wondered why Helena had bothered coming if she thought so little of her sister.
I hear nothing from her for weeks, and then when she finally does call me, all she wants is money. If she thinks I'm lending her another penny, she'll have to convince me it's not a total waste of time.
That didn't sound good. If her
그래서 내 돈은
The sun was setting over Bellariva by the time I reached Carmen's cafe. From the outside, it looked as quiet as ever, but inside, I found
Maria! Oh, don't mind all of this. If Helena finds one speck of dust in here, I'll never hear the
언니랑
end of it.
닮은 게 머리 색깔밖에 없네.
Carmen seemed pleased to see me, but I sensed the fidgeting tension beneath each sweep of her mop.
I hope you didn't mind fixing the camera for her. She was furious when it broke. I really need this to go.
Carmen led me to a back room, where she'd laid out the components of what looked like a neon sign. So there was supposed to be a sign outside. This might...
I'd like to put it up before Helena gets here.
에? 일단은 까봐야겠죠? 봅시다. 이거를 여기다 넣는 게 아니야? 풀칠이구나. 오메. 아. 어우. 깔끔스. 오케이, 됐고.
I think the whole thing is supposed to light up.
아이, 기다려봐요, 선생님.
I don't know, it's a bit flat. Maybe if it flashes, it'll really catch people's eye.
Great idea. I think I
아이.
have a spare part that could do that.
야, 자막 어딨어, 자막. 아니, 부품을 이제 주면 어떡해요. 이것도 부품 하나 또 달라는 거 아니야, 이거?
It still needs something else. Maybe we can add one of these.
진짜 쳐맞을래?
It works. I'll screw everything together again and you'll be set.
피자로 해도 되는 거야? 술로 할까 아이스크림으로 할까? 피자가 제일 낫지 않을까? 왜냐면 피자 맛있겠다.
The sign fixed.
아니,
we headed
나-
outside
야,
and mounted it
피자
carefully
했잖아.
over the cafe door.
왜 아이스크림으로 바뀌어 있는데? 이 야씨 새끼들 봐라 이거. 이럴 거면 아이스크림으로 달라고 하던가 처음부터.
That's perfect, Maria. It looks just how I imagined it.
When I had this sign made, it all seemed so simple.
Oh, I can't believe I might have to give it all up. I hope I've done enough.
The smile froze on her face as she spotted something over my shoulder. I turned to see.
Of course, my sister owns the only cafe in this entire town that isn't actually open.
For better, Carmen opened her mouth to explain, but Helena swept indifferently. Finally pausing in the doorway, she turned back towards Carmen.
The first thing we're doing is
헐.
getting rid of that hideous sign.
나 고쳤는데 버리래.
And with that, she disappeared inside. I hoped Carmen's chances of saving the cafe hadn't disappeared with her.
너무해.
It was the day before the festival, and the whole town was busy getting ready. I had more work than I knew what to do with. When Joseph called with another job, I was craving the cool quiet of his and Izzy's seafood. I'd barely reached their front door when I heard someone calling me.
Psst, Maria, I need your help.
너 또
Quickly,
요요랑
it's
단추
top
주면
secret.
죽여버린다.
It was Izzy, peeking out from the side of the house. She beckoned for me to follow her. She led me through to a beautiful, unruly garden overflowing with flowers of every color. Nestled among them was a playhouse.
You have to squeeze past it and breathe in real small, like this.
Izzy took in a big gulp of air and crawled through the gap and into the playhouse. I hadn't planned on crawling in the dirt today, but the life of a repairwoman never did run smooth. On the table inside, there was an electronic toy. Not exactly the usual stock in my parents' antique shop.
너 또 건전지 안 되는 거 아니야?
Accident. I didn't do it on purpose or anything, but it won't turn on anymore. Can you fix it for me?
아유, 야, 난리 났네, 난리 났어.
Why does it sound so scary? It wasn't like that before.
야, 그냥 부품이 그냥 그냥 기갈빡이 났네. 그냥 기갈빡이 났어 그냥. 아, 이게 여기가 아니구나. 근데 이게 맞지 않나? 일단 보자. 일단 선을 다 빼봐. 아이, 야마! 야, 근데 선 어떻게 있었냐? 보자 보자. 어디 보자. 아, 불편한데. 자, 뭔가 좀 더 깔쌈하게 선정리가 안 될까? 얘 불이지. 얘 불. 3을 불에 놓으면은 절로 가지. 그럼 1에 불로 2에 불을 놓자. 그러면 1은 기기판, 3 음악. 이게 맞는 것 같아. 아이치펄? 됐지? 다 했지? 껴!
grown-ups play games as well?
땡.
Can you show me how to play? I tried before, but it was so hard.
Congratulations. 사진 찍는 게임이었어요. 한 번 더 해. 아, 안 껐어요. 기다려봐. 아, 빨리 넘겨, 빨리 넘겨. Congratulations. 잠깐만요.
Her toy fixed, I watched Izzy retreat into its screen, taking refuge in a 3-inch world of her own.
아휴, 어머니가 오셔서 인사 좀 드리고 왔습니다. 3인치가 저거겠죠. 그 비밀 공간 말하는 거겠지.
Well, I'd better head inside. Your dad is waiting for me.
Please don't tell him about the game. He'll think I broke it on purpose.
아니, 아빠한테는 말하지 말래? 부모님한테 게임 말하는 거 힘들지.
Why would he think that?
Because, well, I kind of dropped it really hard at the wall.
Izzy looked down, scuffing her shoes on the worn floor of the playhouse.
My dad said I have to go to this stupid festival tomorrow and put on a stupid dress. And I don't want to. All he cares about is working. He never wants to see me unless it's for his job.
드레스
Not
입기
going.
싫대.
He can't make me.
With that, Izzy dove back through the rosebush and disappeared into the wilds of the garden. She was so young. She couldn't be expected to see that her dad was struggling too. It made me think. Had I really tried hard enough to understand my parents' point of view? I was so focused on the adventures ahead of me. Maybe I didn't care enough about...
돈 줘, 돈. 새끼야, 돈. 부품비 내놔. 이번엔 시계야?
Leaving Izzy hiding in the garden, I walked around to the front of the house and rang the doorbell. It was only then I noticed my favorite overalls covered in grass stains. I scrubbed desperately, but it was too late.
Maria, what are you doing? What happened to your clothes?
그쪽 자식 때문에 내 옷이 이렇게 됐어요. 세탁비랑 부품비랑 저기 수리비 다 줘요.
I was, repairing a lawnmower.
How unusual. Well, do come in. The job I've got for you is a little more delicate.
Totally embarrassed, I walked into an orderly room filled with papers and ledgers. So this was his office. You must be so busy getting ready for the festival. Are you looking forward to it?
Of course. It's traditional for the mayor to judge food from every cafe and restaurant in town. I'll be declaring the best chef in Bella Riva by this time tomorrow. Speaking of which...
시장,
He
시장.
unclipped the watch from his wrist
Market,
and very
market.
carefully handed it to me.
I'll have a tight schedule to follow, but my watch stopped working a while ago. Could you see if you can make it tick again?
야, 아무리 그래도 시계는 시계공한테 가야 되지 않을까요?
Are you sure it will all fit back together?
몰라요. 저도 시계는 처음이라. 믿지 마셈. 러브 뭐라고 쓰는 거야? R와 always. 아, 깜짝이야 씨. 아닌데? 맞나? always 맞나? 아이고, 뭐 이렇게 난리가 났냐?
Ah, the main plate has completely cracked. I'll need to replace it. The cogs look good though. If I'm careful, I can reuse those.
아니, 나 고쳐야 돼 임마. 에? 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 이건 필요 없어? 얘는 왜 있는 거야 그럼? 아, 천재. 이게 맞겠지?
I've not gone a day without this watch since my wife gave it to me.
잘 가고 있는 거 맞지? 시간 거꾸로 가? 아니야, 제대로 가요. 아이, 제대로 가는 거 맞잖요.
As I handed the watch back to Joseph, my fingers traced over the engraving on the back. I hoped fixing this was one small way I could help him move forward.
I can't believe it's working, Maria. Thank you. My wife was a brilliant woman. Feeling this ticking on my wrist, it makes me feel like she's still here. Watches measure minutes and hours like
그러니까
infinite, I didn't know.
제 시간도 생각해 주셔야죠.
Even with Isabel, I barely see her.
고치는 시간은 공짜가 아니에요.
Just then, the phone rang. Even when he was at home, his work was never done.
Sorry, Maria. I have to take this. I'll see you at the festival.
As I left, I turned and saw him pacing the floor of his office, his watch glinting in the afternoon sun. I hoped its quiet ticking would at least bring him some peace during the busy days to come.
열받네.
When my last job of the day brought me to Carmen's apartment, the door was opened by someone I didn't expect to see, Helena.
Sorry for inflicting this mess on you. Carmen's never seen a knick-knack she doesn't want to buy, apparently.
Carmen's apartment was a little chaotic, but totally charming. It was easy to It definitely wasn't Helena's style. She seemed more upmarket than
We're having a clear-out. Or at least I am. Carmen's not helping. As she says she has nothing when there's all this stuff right under her nose. Look at this slide projector. Our parents treasured it, but Carmen treats it like a piece of... Oh, typical. Carmen's even managed to get a slide stuck in here.
이건 뭐냐? 이 애기 사진왕 있는 것 봐. 이거 봐 이거. 빼봐 이거.
Okay, I'll need to redirect the light to the lens at the top for the projector to work.
일단 빼봐. 이거 헷갈려.
That light bulb is completely smashed.
맞지?
I was so excited when I moved to the city. Carmen, she looks so sad. Here's the clicker you'll need to attach. God knows how Carmen broke that as well.
된 거 같은데?
looks like something is still missing.
헛.
When we were younger, Carmen was always following me around. I suppose she looked up to me. A cool older sister.
Helena was transfixed, staring at the two young sisters the projector had brought glaringly into focus.
I never meant to let her down.
사이가 좋았는데
You came all this way just to help with the cafe.
사이가 좋았는데 어느 순간 이제 틀어진 건가?
That's the problem. There is no money.
야,
I lost my job a few months ago.
그럴
My savings are
거면은
almost gone. I have nothing.
고치자라는 말을 하면 안 됐지. 이 미친놈들아. 돈도 안 줄 거면서 또 그냥
Carmen thinks I'll throw my checkbook at her bad decisions and make them okay. But I can't. Not this time. You know, the funny thing is, I came here wanting to tell her the truth. But she's so infuriating. How can I ask her for help when all she cares about is herself?
Helena fell silent, shrinking under the gaze of her younger self, projected onto the wall.
We drifted so far apart when I moved away. It felt like the only thing keeping us together was my bank balance. I know I have to tell her the truth. It isn't fair. But I already lost everything else.
참 어렵다.
The day of the festival finally came, and after all my hard work, I was ready to put down my tools and pick up a fork. The smell as I entered the main square was incredible. The competition would start any minute. Most stall holders were waiting anxiously for the mayor to pay them a visit. All of them, that was, except Carmen, who was still frantically chopping vegetables and stirring pots.
Maria! Thank God you're here. Can I ask you the world's biggest favour? Helena was supposed to help me run the stall today, but she never turned up. Probably too ashamed to show her face. I can't believe she lied to me.
Carmen was stirring so furiously she was in danger of tipping the pot over altogether.
The mayor will be here any minute for the judging, but I'm almost out of my special.
She wasn't really going to ask me, was she? Not on my day off.
쉬는 날에 요청을 한다고.
I have a stove ready to build and everything. Can you set it up and make me a spare batch?
너무한 거 아니냐?
Oh, her recipe is a bit smudged. Never mind, I'm sure whatever I put in will be fine. It all fits. Now to light the gas.
조강기처가 좋더라. 열렸던 연료가 좋더라. 친구는 오랜 친구 중마고 국민 연료선 연료.
여러분의 사랑으로 30년이 되었습니다.
국민
I
연료선
think that pot is really boiling now. Smells great if I say so myself. Here are the ingredients that Carmen's given me. What to add first?
야이 쌍. 당근이겠죠? 스틱 오브니까. 스틱 오브 하프 캐럿 1핑크 오브 스톡 그 넣었고, 그리고 브로콜리 브로콜리 토마토 와일드 머쉬룸 와일드 머쉬룸스 이제 이게 뭐야? 이게 오니언이야? 토마토를 손 하나 가득이라고?
That looks good. I'll scoop a spoonful when I'm ready to serve.
다 됐다고? 아니야, 다 안 됐어. 뭔 소리야? 이게 뭐야? 이게 뭐냐? 마지막에 적힌 게 뭐냐? 마지막에 적힌 게 뭐야? 내가 버섯 몇 개 넣었지? 하나 넣었나? 어니언 같진 않은데? 이게 뭐야? 치즈야? 아니 어니언 같진 않은데? 어니언 얘기는 없잖아. 찹드 토마토, 브로콜리, 뿌리, 캐럿 4분의 1 캐럿이잖아. 치즈 넣어.
My part done, Carmen took over and added the finishing touches. It was just in time, as a moment later, Joseph arrived with his.
That was so tasty. Can I have some more, please?
Well, you've certainly earned yourself a loyal customer in my daughter. We have a few more meals to taste, but so far you are one of the best.
Joseph and Izzy looked so happy together. Maybe the festival was doing them some good after all. Carmen, on the other hand, seemed annoyed. But why, when it had all gone so well?
빌런
Wish
빌런.
Helena was here to see this. She's so convinced I'll never succeed at anything.
She wants what's best for you. She's just not very tactful about it.
Yes, I know. Even when I was a kid, I just wish she hadn't lied to me.
야, 이 빌런들아. 열받네? LP판. LP 플레이어.
The festival finished. I only had one day left before I had to catch my train and leave Bellariva behind. I couldn't go without saying goodbye to Carmen. So, that evening, I made my way to the cafe. It was unrecognizable. She'd done it. Best food in Bella Riva. Half the town was outside waiting to see what the fuss was about.
떡상 떡상.
Maria! Maria! My favourite sous chef. Come on through.
It was Carmen, acting every inch the successful cafe owner she deserved to be. Even Helena was there, serving the coffees. This was the last place I expected to see her after yesterday's drama.
잘 나가던 언니 좌천됨.
Carmen led me through to a balcony upstairs, where she brought out an old record player.
I found out where Helena was on the day of the festival. She was selling her camera to clear the cafe's debts. But then she didn't have much left for herself. So, I've asked her to come and stay with me for a while. We have a lot of catching up to do. I wanted to give her this, to cheer her up. Do you think it has...
보자.
Okay, let's see what happens when we turn this on.
일단 켜볼까?
The speaker isn't connected properly. I should check the wiring. The speaker isn't connected properly. I should check the wiring.
오우, 야, 이렇게 쑥 떼지는
Here's the
거였어?
problem. This wiring isn't connected properly.
보자 보자. 아, 그렇구만.
If I turn the volume up, I should be able to hear it now.
그리고 이게 빨리 감기니까 뭐 빨리 감기 대감기 같은 거니까 선을 여기다가 해서
I think that should do it. This record should play beautifully.
됐겠죠?
It's spinning the wrong way. How can I get it to play in the right direction? It must be to do with the motor. Let's see if one of these spares can turn things around.
거꾸로 재생이 되는구만. 거꾸로 재생이 됐어. 이거 어째? 모델이 이게 맞나 저게 맞나? 이거 또 확인해봐야겠네. 껴보고.
This motor doesn't seem to work. Maybe I'll have better luck with a different one.
아, 기판에 써 있었어요? 아, 그러네. 써 있었네. 7W0이라고. 천재인데?
Well, it's playing in the right direction. I should check it's turning at the correct speed.
RPM 올리면 불편하지. 이거 상하거든, 이 핀이.
The record player's crackling tune must have caught Helena's ear.
그러니까 비싼 부품들인데 돈을 안 줘요, 이
Is that my
사람들이.
record player? I can't believe you've kept it all these years, Carmen.
돈을 줘야지.
Leaning over the music, they looked just like the young sisters the slide projector had preserved all these years, inseparable once again. Carmen told me about your camera. That was a really generous thing to do.
I loved that camera, but I love my sister more. Now it's hurt. I'm going to stay here with her for a while. Make up for lost time.
Carmen and Helena's relationship
불량전화기다.
wasn't suddenly going to be perfect, but they were both prepared to try. And to think, it had all started because of a call Carmen made about some seasoning tips. I guess in the end, maybe it wasn't so hard to just pick up the phone and dial. I hadn't spoken to my own parents in a year. I wanted to hear their voice. The silence between us.
오, 뭐야 이건?
My final morning in Bellariva, I received one last call out to Joseph and Izzy's house. I knew I had to pack, but I figured I could squeeze in one
야,
final
마지막으로
job
가는
before I had to
날까지 그냥 일을 시키네 그냥.
When I arrived, I found Joseph tidying up his wilderness of a garden. The playhouse was already cleared. Inside, I could see Izzy happily testing out her screw driving skills on the back of her cassette.
You've made quite the impression. Izzy, tells me she's going to be a repairwoman like Maria.
야, 장사하더라도 여기선 하지 마라.
Anything she wanted.
She could. She's a brilliant child. Spending the day with her at the festival, I haven't had...
Inside, the house was transformed, flooded with light and the sounds of the garden. It felt...
It's a music box. It used to play beautifully, but now when I wind it up, nothing happens. I'd love for Izzy to...
잡설은 삭제한다. 잡설은 듣지 않는다. 일단 돌려서 어떤 증상인지 봐야겠죠? 소리가 아직 아예 나질 않네요. 보자.
Maria, could you add this family picture of us?
알았어. 일단은 나중에 이거부터 보고. 왜 안 떼죠? 어? 저건 뭐야? 새랑 저거는.
This mechanism is completely broken. I'll need to take it all apart before I can fix it.
야! 마지막 날까지 이게 뭐하는 짓거리여. 만물상이라니까. 진짜 말도 안 돼. 뭐야, 왜 끼다 말어? 여기다가 이거 넣어놔. 안되네. 꼈죠 이거? 그리고 남은게 이제 이거 씌우고 이거 넣어놓고 이거 넣어놓고 야마! 아니 사진 넣어달라며. 본드야? 새 왜 안 나와? 태엽이 하나만 돌아? 못 봤네. 그럼 다시 꺼내야 돼? 개 같은 거. 내가 채팅을 못 봤어. 이렇게구만. 다 도네.
Perfect. The mechanism is good as new.
너는 그걸 이제 와서 퍼펙트 이러고 있냐? 진작에 알아챘어야지? 아주 그냥 하기 싫은 티를 너무 많이 냈네. 하긴 근데 가기 마지막 날 진짜 기차 시간 지금 막 앞두고 있는데 이러고 있는 거니까 나 같아도 하기 싫겠다. 나 집에 가야 된다고. 뭐하는 짓거리여 이게 이러면서. 뭐야? 왜 알아서 껴지는 거야?
I think that's everything back together again.
My wife
오.
used to sing this song to Izzy each night before bed, but I always worked too late to join them. Will you dream a dream for
아저씨 노래 듣기 싫어요. 혼자서 저 혼자 있을 때 부르세요.
Know that I will always love you, even though I've missed so much already. I want to be the father my wife wanted me to be. I've ended up so much like my own father, working all the time. Izzy needs my daughter comes first. Well, until she gets bored of her stuff.
I'll never ever get bored of you, Dad.
Izzy came running into the room. Where
갑자기?
She gazed at the music box, her eyes shining. I'd never seen her look. Joseph was a good father. And I
갑자기?
could tell he was determined to be an even better one. When it came down to it, my time in Bellariva was almost over, but
easy. 가방이잖아. 가방 고장남?
my time in Bellariva was almost at an end. Another chapter finished in a story whose ending I hadn't felt ready to write. The people I'd met, the items I'd restored, pulling out my suitcase from the people I'd met, the items I'd restored, they'd taught me so much about what was really important. Pulling out my suitcase from beneath the bed, I remembered the day I stole it from my parents' shop, the day I left. Afterwards, I was as I packed. I knew.
짐 쌀 게 있어요? 뭐야? 짐이 없는데요?
Joseph's idea of light reading for the train. It does look thorough.
뭐야? 뭐야? 어이 깜짝이야.
My parents would love Bellariva. Maybe I can convince them to make the trip. Helena gave me these designer shirts.
아 이게 준 거구나. 애들이 셔츠를 걔가 주고 이거 레시피를 주고.
My train ticket.
뭐요?
Can't believe it's time to leave Bellariva behind.
공룡이 티켓이라고요? 뭔 소리여? 난 공룡 넣는디.
Izzy gave me this in exchange for my repair manual. She'll be a pro in no time. The recipe for Carmen's special. I'm under strict instructions to guard it with my life.
뭔가
My
꼬였나 봐.
suitcase was full, but it was my heart that felt heavy as I made my way to the station. I was sorry Helena and Carmen's reunion was possible because they'd learned to overcome their differences. Joseph had realized he shouldn't let his grief or his work get in the way of his relationship with Izzy. They'd each learned to see things from someone else's perspective.
여기서 중요한 거는
Maybe it was time I saw things through my parents' eyes.
주인공이 제일 호구야. 호구
I
당했어.
knew it would be easier to jump on the next train, put even more distance between us. But I finally felt ready to talk to them. I just didn't know, did I even remember their number? I wasn't sure until I reached for the phone and it all came flooding back.
뭐?
Mom? Dad?
Maria? Is that you?
재밌었습니다. 신선하네, 조립하는 게. 이건 뭐야? 에필로그.
Dear Maria, Carmen here. Sorry I haven't written. The cafe's been absolute. Luckily, I have Helena here to help. You wouldn't recognize her. She's always running around, taking orders and making drinks. I even heard her compliment a customer on their outfit. Personally, I draw the line at fluorescent green bowling. She misses the city, though. Bellariva's many things, but it's definitely not. She said there was a coffee shop near her old apartment where they made coffee with this. It got me thinking, I'm an award-winning chef. I can figure out how to put a leaf on a cappuccino. A bit of cosmopolitan coffee might be just what Helena needs. Of course, ordering a new coffee machine was the easy part.
야, 이제 커피 머신도 커피 머신을 나한테
I saw Maria
보내냐.
use her screwdriver a million times. Taking this apart will be easy. These pipes look pretty simple. I should start with them.
일단은 다 빼봐. 다 빼고 해. 파이프가 문제가 아니야. 아니야. 이거 좀 빡세다. 느낌 왔어. 이거 빡세다. 저 과자 좀 먹어. 어디 보자.
much steam. Ugh, I'm getting soaked.
이거는 여기가 맞는 것 같아요. 이게 이렇게면은
That steam doesn't look good. There must be something wrong with the pipes.
자, 화살표 방향이 이상하구나. 그러네. 화살표 방향을 좀 봐야겠네. 이 미친 여자가 나한테 이상한 걸 줬어요. 아닌데? 화살표가 그냥 이렇게인데? 그럼 결국은 아니 이걸 왜 빼냐고 이 미친놈아. 낄 데가 여기밖에 없어? 이거 어디다 껴? 이거는 또 요거에 끼는 거야? 여기잖아. 근데 이거 파이프가 방향이 둘 다 내려가는 방향 아니야? 얘가 여기네. 얘가 여기고. 그쵸? 맞죠? 방향이 여기가 맞죠? 파이프는? 일단 스팀이 나오잖아 근데. 너 빼고 생각해봐 일단. 근데 스팀이 세잖아. 이렇게고
The pipes are all connected, but there's still steam everywhere. Something's in the wrong place.
얘랑 바꾸면 되죠?
Finally, no more steam.
그리고 이게 문제인데 일단 요거는 맞고 요거고. 커피가 1이랑 가깝고 불빛이 3이랑 가깝죠? 그러면은 커피를 1에 꽂고요. 불빛을 3에 꽂고요. 전기를 2에 꼽시다. 그러면은 커피가 1에 가깝고 불빛이 3에 가깝고 얘가 2에 가깝고 이러면 되죠? 근데 저거 뭘 하든 간에 선이 꼬일 수밖에 없는 구조야. 되게 열받아. 뭐 이제껏 했던 것 중에 난이도가 제일 높았습니다.
I think that's everything. Better test the buttons, just to make sure. All done. Piece of cake. Time to make my first coffee, I think. Smells delicious. Now to make it look magical.
야, 우유 안 데펴?
A perfect
똥!
coffee. All it needs is a saucer and a couple of Helena's favourite biscuits.
똥!
I was feeling more has-been than coffee queen by the time I'd made a drink fit for human consumption. It looked a bit, postmodern, but knowing Helena's refined tastes, I hoped she'd think it was intentional. Always the connoisseur. She didn't even bother to look at it at first. She was so busy wafting it under
안경에
her nose.
김설인 거 봐.
Steamed up her glasses, of course. When she finally spotted it, though, she was totally impressed. I'll admit, she spent several minutes trying to figure out exactly what it was I'd drawn. She decided it was probably a horse. Well, she was impressed enough to ask for another one. I guess I'll need to get some practice in. The whole thing was such hard work, Maria. I never realised how... It made me realise how much I have to thank you for, so I wanted to say that now. Better latte than never.
돈 줘요. 돈도 안 주고. 끝났나? 다 했구먼. 아유, 재밌었습니다. 불량 전화기. 재밌었고요. 간단하게 하기 딱 좋았네요. 끝!